This is a Pod Dealers Network podcast.
What is TWS podcast, episode, whatever, who cares at this point?
Bar. The rant of the vindicated. It's my podcast and I do what I want to.
People, listen.
Word, is it still live?
It's not working for me, Rich. All right, we gonna keep going.
I know I changed my voice at work.
Bars on the radio.
What is TWS podcast?
Ready.
I feel like the end is
Staring at my watch and I'm feeling so new school. Suicide attempts, how many tries to take?
They ain't ready.
Fuck it. Be by myself. Big pool, even when I'm by myself. Big dough, even when I'm by myself. Nicolay, even when I'm by myself. My nigga Zoe, even when I'm by myself. Median, even when I'm by myself. Yazra, even when I'm by myself. DJ Flash, even when I'm by myself. Yo, funk. God bless and good night.
God bless and good night. Man, welcome to another episode of the What is TWS podcast. As always, I'm your boy Jedi Flan, representing the White Pants Society. Remember me start this like I start every episode by thanking you first and foremost for taking whatever time out of your day to come chill with me, listen to my random ramblings, whatever it is I do here. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me, and I do, from the bottom of my heart, greatly appreciate that. Man, it feels like it's been a minute since I did this. Like, I've been dropping a lot of pre-recorded episodes that I did, with guest hosts. And then I did the episode with my mother when I was back home. And that was a little bit different. It's been a minute since I just sat down and actually had to record one of these. So that's kind of why I picked that track to start out with, Fontigolo for Dolo, because I'm back by myself, you know what I'm saying? It got a lot of double meanings, but, we start with, the fact that it is a solo episode again, me by myself, doing what I do here. But anyway, man, we're gonna get into it. Like I said, it's been a minute. I feel out of practice. I feel like I ain't really done this shit in a minute, and we're gonna try to make it through. I got something planned. I'm not gonna freestyle this one, so don't worry. Like, there is actually a subject and a meaning. But we're going to go ahead and get straight into it. We're going to start like we always do with the Chef Release Report.
I'm Peppy.
Yes, sir, I am, and proud to be. Man, so this episode is really about my experiences when I was back home. And, of course, Chef Release wasn't with me. So I can't, talk about her in terms of that. But right before I went on my trip, I did, have my visit with her. So I was grateful that the way the whole, trip, the timing, the way everything went down, it didn't disrupt any of our normal schedule stuff. Because Chef Elise is definitely a creature of habit, and when shit get thrown off, I know it fucks with her. So we didn't have to do any of that. I didn't have to miss a week or anything like that. I was able to still have my normal visit and then fly out on Monday. So that was cool. But before we went out, we had our visit and we did our normal thing. We go to the grocery store and she has to pick out her cereal and her juice and the fruit and all that fun stuff. That's what we do. And when we go to the grocery store, I think I've said this before, but she likes to be like on me, just right next to me or on me. So she even likes to do this thing where she puts her feet up on the shopping cart and holds the handles and then kind of leans back on my chest and I'm pushing the cart. So we'll do that. We'll do that the whole time, we're in the store. And whenever we stop, I need her to get down so I can look for something. I don't want to just let go and she just fall. So I'll say down, down, down. And that to her means, get down. We get ready to walk up and down the aisle or whatever and find shit. So we in the store. We doing that. Normal rotation. Everything is normal. I run into this other dad and he got his daughter with him. And his daughter, man, I'm trying to think of the politically correct term, but she looks like she has a disability. Clearly she has a disability, and this is not any sort of diss to anything like that. I'm just describing it because it's pertinent to the story I'm gonna tell. So I see them, and they in the store with us, and and we acknowledge each other. I don't know him, he don't know me. There's no relationship there. There's nothing to be discussed. It's just we two dads in the store. We see each other. It is what it is. So Chef Elise and we keep going. We still, we having our grocery store trip. We shopping. And I'm going into this one particular aisle, and as I'm turning the corner, I see what it is that I want to get. So I stop the cart, and my usual, I tell you at least, down, down, down. And when I look up, the father is in the aisle, and I'm guessing that maybe his daughter had Down syndrome or something, because he's looking at me like, "Fuck did you just say?" and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like I ain't want to. It's one of them moments. Like me and my homie Chad, my white friend Chad, like he'll text me on some. Like, he was at a restaurant, and he and his wife was sitting next to this black dude or whatever, and his wife was sitting next to him, and they got their food, and he realized like, she on the, like he's right-handed and she's left-handed, so if they too close to each other, or if they not, sitting on the right side of each other, they end up bumping elbows the whole time trying to eat. So when the food came, he told his wife to switch, and then he sat down and he thought about it, like how much this dude have taken that. Like it had nothing to do with like me not wanting my white wife sitting next to you or nothing like that. It was nothing like that. But if you try to explain yourself in that moment, you look even worse. Like it's like, nigga, just don't. You just gotta say nothing and let them take it however they took it. But if you try to explain yourself, like it makes it worse. So in that moment, like I'm looking at them and I want to say like, nah, I'm just telling my daughter to get down. Like that's what I always do. You just didn't hear me do it the last time. But I'm like, nah, I don't need to. Like it was a real tense, maybe only in my mind, but dude definitely looked at me. Like his head snapped up like, the fuck you just say? But he ain't say nothing. I ain't say nothing to him. We just kept it moving. But it was one of them weird ass like grocery store moments where I wasn't trying to be offensive, but possibly I offended somebody, but I wasn't even doing nothing offensive. It just is what it is. Explaining it would have made it worse. So I just had to let it rock. But if you're listening, which I know you're not, just understand, like I was talking to my daughter. It was not a commentary on your child at all. I wasn't calling that shit out. Like, whatever. It is what it is. But that was the moment that we had before I went out of town. The second moment is after I got back. So I'm proud to say my daughter has finished the first grade. I will be the father of a second grader come August, September, whenever school goes, gets back in session. But I went to her first grade awards assembly, to finish out the year. And it was cool. Like I'm again, real proud dad moment. I think my ex-wife was there, and she holding back tears. It's funny, like of all the shit that like gets me to cry. Like I took my daughter to see The Little Mermaid this past weekend, and for some reason I didn't think I gave a fuck about Little Mermaid being black, but for some reason like being in the theater and then seeing her and then seeing my daughter like react to it. And the fact that Haley like killed it, like she did a great job. The shit was dope. I was a little choked up. I don't think I let a tear actually fall that time, but I definitely, the eyes was watering. I had to do a little adjusting to make sure, I ain't misrepresent myself in front of my daughter. But anyway, so I wasn't tearing up at the awards assembly, but I think my ex-wife, she made it through without breaking down. But she was definitely had her moments. But the shit was cool. My daughter got a couple of awards. I still think they do this thing where, like, I don't know, like, it seemed like everybody was getting everything. Like, it didn't seem to be, like, a whole lot of kids being, like, singled out as being superior. Like I said, I know I went through that when I was in school where, it'd be awards assemblies, and it'd be, like, every fucking award that came up, like, I was just sitting down and then getting right back up to go back across the stage to pick up another certificate or a plaque or whatever it is they was giving out. And that did not like earn me a lot of friends back then. So I get that. I don't want that for my daughter, her being singled out and making kids not like her. But then at the same time, like if everybody gets one, does it really mean anything? But it is what it is. The funny shit that happened though was like your kids are just so oblivious. And I don't know when you teach like a boy that you just can't do certain shit like in certain environments. But they would let the kids come up, get their certificate, and they was all standing on stage together. They wait till everybody's name get called, and they come up and get their certificate and stand together, and then everybody get to sit down. But while they up there, It was this one little boy, and I guess I don't know his drawers was up his ass or something. Like he just started digging. And like, is anybody gonna say something like this? I was waiting for a teacher to like tap him, like, nah, you can't do that. But homie just he ain't get it. Like you got an auditorium of people looking at you, and this dude is going to town, either scratching his ass or digging his drawers out his ass or something. And then he moved to the front, so I'm guessing it was the underwear that might have got bunched up. Little kid I don't know if he's wearing boxers already or something, but yeah, then he moved to the front and was adjusting shit up front. And I'm just like, God damn, what the fuck is this? Is this a white people thing? Because I don't remember not being aware that I wasn't supposed to do that where people could see. But I ain't gonna make it about race. He started adjusting the front, and then to make it even worse, then the nigga started. He wasn't a nigga, but then the dude started digging in his ear, and he's like going to town with that. And you know he got something because when he pulled his finger out his ear, he was rolling it like a booger or something like that. Like that motherfucking Buick commercial where the niggas just. I was driving Buicks before it was popular to drive Buicks or whatever the fuck. This dude was just like rolling earwax in his fingers while he's standing next to this little girl. I felt bad for the little girl. Like, are her parents gonna say something? Because this dude is clearly like being unhygienic. Like right next to we in the COVID area, and he's digging in his ass and his ear with the same hand, and just like standing next to other kids. But as I've said before, parenting is gross. It just seems to get grosser as the years go by. I'm not looking forward to the next gross thing, but I'm sure it's coming. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, Elise finished the first grade. She got some awards. She's doing well. I'm proud of her. And that's all I got for the Chef Elise report.
Out of Pepe.
Yes, sir. I motherfucking am. But all right, so let's get into the episode. So I told y'all I had to fly home for my aunt's funeral. Not the way that you want to have to fly home, but I was glad to be back in the city, be back around family. I wished I had done it just naturally and not it taking somebody dying to get me to do it. But whatever, things happen. Life be lifing sometimes. But it was a crazy trip, and it from the moment I left Austin to the moment I came back, it was just crazy thing after crazy thing happened. I think like the first thing I remember happening, I had to write shit down that was just happening because I'm like, this is podcast material. I'm talking about this. But I'm flying into DC, and I'm getting off the plane. The plane landed, and it's taking a while to get people off the plane. And I don't like pay for the better seats anymore. Like I used to, want to sit up front so I get off the plane first and all that kind of shit and like really care about that. These days, like all I want is a window seat. I really don't care. Like if it got to be in the back row, it got to be in the back row. We all getting off this bitch at some point, so I'll wait. I'll chill. But I'm on the plane and I'm sitting, and the people who sit next to me, I'm in one of them rows with like 3 seats. I got the window seat, and there's 2 people who sit next to me, and they elderly or they of a certain age or whatever. And so I'm sitting there, and as soon as I turn my phone back on, one of my homies tries to do like a video call or something with me. And so like I really didn't want in the mood to take like a video call, but I'm like, dude might be trying to get through to me for something. Let me go ahead and do it. So I answered the call, and he didn't realize I was out of town and all of that. So I'm telling him, yeah, I just landed. I'm on a plane, I'm waiting to get off. I'm like, man, my knee is really killing me. Like my knee is fucking with me. I ain't moved in a bit. I need to get up and move around. Like I'm getting older, and I can't just sit for long periods of time like this. And when I said like I'm getting older, like the 2 people kind of turned their head and like snickered a little bit. And in my head, I'm like, nigga, yes, I'm getting older. Like, I feel like I'm old. You are older, but that does not make me not old. Like just because you older than me don't mean that I'm not old. Like I'm at an age where shit starts cracking and popping and shit starts hurting. And I've been sitting here in this fucking seat forever with my carry-on bag that's probably too big to be a carry-on, so I can't really like put my feet under the seat. Like my leg been tucked for hours now. My fucking knee hurts. Like just don't judge me because I'm saying I'm old. I know I don't look my age, but I'm saying I'm 40 plus. My knee fucking hurts. But that shit happened. I finally did get off the plane, and I was happy to be back home. I was happy to be back in DC. But, you know, it's usually what happens to me when I go back home. When I've been away for a while and I go back home, like there's that initial like euphoria of like, man, you know, I'm back around things I recognize and I know how to move around, I know how to get places. I ain't got to ask for directions nowhere. And like, this is home. And then I realized I'm home. I'm back in DC. Shit ain't exactly as safe as it is where I might have came from. You know, not everybody's friendly. I can't just be, you know, walking around normal. Like I had to immediately like put my East Coast back on. And I just remember I flew into Reagan because Reagan is like right on the subway line. So that way I didn't have to ask my mom to come, you know, drive out there to get me. She getting older and she don't really like driving that much. And she definitely don't like driving around airports and shit like that. So I'm like, Ma, don't worry about it. I'm gonna catch the train home. So I get off the plane. I go to get on the train. First, the dude is like, the station manager or whatever is just like giving me extra shit about like not knowing how to use the fare card machine. And it wasn't that I didn't know how to use it. I got there. I had to look to see, you know, how much it was going to cost to get me wherever I was going to go. And I'm making sure I got that. And then, you know, whatever. And he just asking me mad questions and like, you know, where you from, what you do. I'm like, I'm from here, man. I know how to use the train. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it really was like a flip of what I was expecting. Like I'm already back in DC mode, and I'm like, nigga, why the fuck is you talking to me? You know, I guess you think I'm a tourist or I'm not from around here, but like people from around here, we just don't have random conversations with strangers. I don't like this. I got shit to do. I got someplace to be. I'm trying to just handle my business and get the fuck on, and you asking me what I do for a living. You telling me they got jobs in IT for the metro. I'm like, all right, that's cool, but I don't live here, so that don't really apply to me. I'm here I think I finally had to tell him I'm here for a funeral, and he was like, oh, you know, sorry to hear that. And that might have like ended the conversation. But I get on the train and I'm riding back home. And you know, the airport is like way out. I want to say that the airport is like in Virginia or whatever. And so, it's not a whole lot of us, you know, on that side of the train. But when I get on, I immediately, you know, like I said, East Coast kicks back in. And I'm like, nigga, I got bags. You know what I'm saying? I look like food. I look like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not from around here. I'm from out of town. I'm alone. I ain't got no people with me. You know, it ain't nobody, or you would be assuming there's nobody that you're going to have to answer to because I'm not from here. So, you do something to me, I ain't going to be able to talk to my people and be like, hey, it was somebody over in this area that did such and such, you know, whatever. So I look like easy pickings. I got these bags. You know, if you snatch one and run, like, am I going to be able to go after you without leaving my other shit? Like, that's the mentality I'm jumping right back into. So I make sure I sit, like, away from the doors so nobody can, like, you know, snatch and grab on me and that type of thing. And I'm trying to, like, give off the aura that, like, I ain't new here. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not lost. I know where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just looking around trying to figure shit out or whatever. Like, I'm paying attention. Like, don't fuck with me. And everything was cool. You know, I got headphones on. I'm listening to music. You know, I'm looking at the monument and shit pass by in the window as I'm on the train. And then, like, two young dudes got on the train. I could smell the weed and whatever. And I'm not trying to be judgmental, but I was immediately like, oh, shit, I don't know where this is going to go. Like, because they sat over in my section when the train was mad empty. You know, you could have sat anywhere, but you sat over there next to me. And I'm already getting nervous. Like, man, where the fuck is this going to go? I don't know what these, you know, young boys be on, you know, crazy shit sometimes. They just do shit to do it. And again, like, I look like easy pickings. So, you know, I was adjusting my stance and my gaze. I turned my music off. I kept my headphones on so I could make sure that I could hear them. I had the noise canceling joints with like they got microphones on them so that you can hear the ambient noise around you if, you know, even when you do have music playing. But I turned the music off but left that on so it could be like, you know, you might not think I can hear you, but I can hear you. But like just getting back in that mindset was crazy to me. Like nothing happened. Niggas got on the train, got off the train. It wasn't a problem. But like just how quickly them switches flipped for me, and I was like back in that mindset. Was fucking crazy to me. But I got home safe, chilling with moms. It's weird being around my mother as when she's like 70 plus now versus who she was when I was a kid. I think I said this on the episode with her, but from the moment I touched down, it was just like, we gonna have this for dinner. Do you like that? Is this okay? Like, what kind of cereal do you like? Like, she ordering groceries and trying to make sure she had food that I like, and I appreciate it. My mother was like mad loving and just making sure that she was taking care of her baby boy, and it was much appreciated. I loved it, but it was weird as fuck. I don't think ever in life, like, once she realized I was a picky eater, I think it was just like, nigga, this is what I got. Make a decision. If you don't like it, you can go pour yourself a bowl of cereal, or you can figure something out. I think the doctors told her that. They were like, he's not going to starve himself. Just make sure that there's food available, but don't go out your way to be trying to do all this other stuff. And she took that to heart, and that was, she was dead serious about it. But on this trip back home, it was just like she was scrambling to try to make sure I was comfortable. I'm like, Mom, I'm good. I really came up here to, to take care of you, make sure you was good. You just lost a sister. I lost an aunt, but you lost a sister. Like, I'm here to take care of you, not vice versa. So, like, chill, like, relax. And we did that. Like, I cooked, and we had a good time together. We talked a lot. It was really dope. I was happy to be home. But like I said, I was there for a funeral, and I realized when I was packing, or before I started packing, I realized when I knew I was going back home for a funeral that, like, my life has been so crazy over the past 4 years, since going to rehab and all of that shit, living in sober homes. Like, I haven't had the necessity to have a suit. Like, I had suits in the past, but it's been several years since, I've really had to put on a suit or put on a tie for that much. And I ain't have a suit. I think the only suit I had in the closet was the one I wore to my wedding. And unfortunately, I can't fit that motherfucker no more. And it was like tan linen or some shit like that. Like, I remember putting on the suit. It was a 3-piece tan linen suit, vest and everything. And I remember putting on the suit. My homie, my brother, Reginald 13 Greer, flew down and was my best man at the wedding. But I remember putting it on, and he was looking at me, and he was like, "Man, you look." And he was trying to figure out a nice way to say it, and I just had to, cut to the chase for him. I was like, I look like I might sell a nigga, won't I? Like, it looked like a plantation suit. Like, it looked like some shit an old Southerner would wear, like back in the day. All I needed was like a straw hat, and that would have finished the ensemble. But so I couldn't wear that, and I couldn't fit it anyway. So I knew when I went home I was gonna have to buy a suit. So first thing I did the next day when I got up was I got on the train, decided to go out to the mall, went to Pentagon City, if you know what that is. And it was crazy again. Like, when I was coming up, they had people that like sat, like, there was a station manager. There was a dude who sat in a little booth right next to the gates where you got to scan your card or run your card to get in or get out. And there was somebody that sat there all the time. I don't know if because of COVID, like, they can't staff them positions or don't nobody want to do that job or whatever. But I guess they ain't station manager. There was nobody around. So I get to my stop in Pentagon City, and I'm getting off, and I see this chick in front of me, and like, it was weird to me because she just, like, as smoothly as possible, just like it was normal, like nothing the fuck was going on, just like stepped over the fucking barrier and just walked right through. And I know I paid like $5 to take that trip. I think I got like a day pass, which I forget how much that cost. But I was like, damn, like I should have thought of that. Like, you could just step over the shit. Like, she did it like it was just a normal everyday thing. And I think I seen like 4 or 5 other people do it while I was up there. It's like, I guess I have lost a little bit of my East Coastness. Now, I was never that kind of person, mainly because consequences tend to hit me fast. Like, if I'm the person that can see 80 people break a rule, and then when I break it, like, I'm the one that's gonna get caught. I'm the one that's gonna get arrested. I'm the one that's going, like, something gonna happen to me. So I was like, nah, I ain't never do that thing. I don't even really jaywalk. for that matter. It's not helping my Carlton image, but it is what it is. But yeah, the chick just stepped right over the barrier. Little hood joint with like a pink leather jacket and a baby Yoda backpack. Just like stepped over the joint and kept it moving. One thing I will say is that like being in Austin, I forgot, what my ladies look like. Like it was a joy. I noticed the difference once I got to Dallas. Like as soon as I got to Dallas, I was like, God, I think I seen the fattest ass I ever seen in my life in the Dallas airport. And it just got better from there. Once I got home, it's like, man, what if I forgot. I fucking forgot. But they reminded me. And I'm thankful for them. Father, we thank you. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. But I got there, like I said, to buy a suit. And, I'm saying? I'm cheap. And, I'm saying? I didn't even, like, my bags were so full that I really had it in my mind, like, I'm not taking this. Unless I get something really nice, I'm not taking this suit home. I just need to put on something that I can wear to a funeral. And it is what it is. So I went to, I think, Macy's. And I get there, and the dude, like, he sees me approach. I'm there mad early, so I'm like the first person in the store. Is nobody else there, so he sees me approach. And he comes up to help me. And this is what pissed me off, right? Like, I'm telling you, I came there with the intention of buying the cheapest possible suit I could fucking buy. But I get there, he asked me what I'm looking for. I said, I'm looking for a suit. I told him I was going to a funeral. And he's like, oh, so, this is unplanned, so I'm pretty sure you're looking for something inexpensive. And then, like, took me straight to the cheapest shit that he had. That's what I was looking for, but I felt some kind of way that he was like, oh, you looking for something cheap. All right, let's go over here. Like, nah, like, did I look like I ain't had no money or something? Like, just say that if that's what you're trying to say. Like, I felt offended that he was taking me to exactly what I wanted, but just like it was supposed to be a conversation. Like, there's supposed to be some negotiating or some haggling or something. Like, let me ease the conversation into, I don't want to spend that much money. Don't just look at me and be like, oh, yeah, you want the cheap shit. Like, that, it fucked with me. It fucked with me. But I did buy a cheap-ass suit. I bought the cheapest suit I could possibly buy. Because I had to buy everything. I had to buy the suit, the shirt. I had to buy a tie, socks, some shoes, everything. I had to do the whole rigmarole. And I did it. And then I think I went to get my hair cut, which was, again, another, like, harrowing experience, because now I'm, like, walking around with, a bag with, a shopping bag, and I'm, like, walking to try to find a barbershop. I'm like, this is not the way you operate up here. You can't just be walking around with shopping bags. And now I'm really looking like I'm lost. I don't know where I'm going, because this is not a area of the city I frequent. I don't get my hair cut out in Virginia, where Pentagon City is. And so I'm looking at my phone and looking up at street signs. I'm like, nigga, you is fucking up for real. But once again, luckily, nothing bad happened to me. So it is what it is. I guess it's all in my mind. I need to stop judging people so much. But I need to stop robbing people so much. But anyway, that happened. And then I ended up spending like $70 that I didn't plan on spending, because again, I'm not used to being back home, so I'm not used to just like the random vendors in the mall that just see you walking by. And I've always had one of them faces where people are just like, oh, he'll listen to what the fuck I have to say. So even with headphones on or anything, like, people just will keep talking to me until I stop and listen to them. And I guess they're right, because I usually do stop and listen to them. And I got stopped by one dude. And I think he had a good sales pitch. Like, he was selling like beard shit, and he was like, and I've been trying to grow a beard my whole life, and I have facial hair, but it never like grows into like the full like freeway type shit. Like, I want a real beard, but I don't necessarily have one. And he was just like, oh yeah, man, these products are good, good for your skin. They promote hair growth and blah blah blah. I was like, oh, word. And then he was, and we're black owned and stuff, and he just checked all the boxes. I ended up buying that shit, and then I kept going. And this chick like pissed me off. She was Ethiopian, and she was nice looking, so that's probably why I listened. But she gets me in there, and then she starts talking to me about how it looks like you have oily skin. Like, what are you saying to me? Like that, this is not the way you sell a product to me by telling me I'm fucked up or something like that. Like that, I don't appreciate that. I just put on this beard oil or whatever this nigga was selling, two carts down. So they know my skin is not just this oily, but you ain't even have to point that shit out. She was trying to sell me some stuff, and that shit, like, don't pick a random dude off the street and just start trying to sell him something. If you know your product is like $250 for some skincare shit, at the same way I feel some kind of way about being taken straight to the cheap shoots. Like I must be giving off the, what I'm saying, I ain't got no money to spend in here kind of vibe. I feel some kind of way about her trying to sell me some $250 skin cream or something. Like, do I look like I got $250 to spend on skin cream? Like, one of these things can't be true. I either don't look like the nigga who want the cheapest suit you got in the store, or I don't look like the dude that got $250 to spend on your skin cream. And so that joint, you normally can get me. Like, if you get me in there and you do the whole sales pitch, like, I feel some kind of way about, you put in all that work. I should have walked away a while ago. I didn't. So now I'm gonna buy the stuff just to be friendly or whatever. I guess I've been in that position trying to sell people something. So, but not $250. I wasn't doing it. So I was just like, and then you gotta say no like 8 times. Like, yeah, I don't got that. And then they drop the price. Motherfucker, it wasn't worth $250 in the first place. If you're gonna sell it to me for $99, but I'm not buying no $99 skin cream. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get out of here. I thank you for the amount of time. You don't have to spend this much time. You could cut this short if you caught the hint, but you're going to keep going. And she did keep going. And I guess it was for a worthy cause, because I ended up buying like a $20 bar of soap or something. Like, she caught me as I was leaving. She was telling me I could go, and I was like almost to the threshold of the door. And she was like, hold on. Well, I understand that you don't have much to spend today, but smell this. And she like put a bar of soap in my face. And I was like, man, if this would get me the fuck out this store, I will buy your $20 bar of soap. It's sitting downstairs right now. I don't know. I guess I'm going to use it. It's $20 soap. I don't know. Maybe I'm probably going to re-gift it. If you get a bar of soap from me, it is what it is. That's what happened. But anyway, so yeah, I made it home after that. I bought my suit. And then I spent the next couple of days kind of just, hanging around the house. I got there during the week. All my people is really, working and stuff like that. I told people I was in town, but people are working. It was Mother's Day weekend, so and that Saturday I had the funeral, and then Sunday is Mother's Day, so I really didn't get a chance to hang out with too many people. So I spent the time like chilling around the house. And I remember I was in the house one day, and I was trying to heat up some food, and I'm looking around my mother's kitchen. I know I spent like 20 minutes like trying to find paper plates. Like, I know she got paper plates, and I just couldn't find the goddamn paper plates. And I'm like, I was this close to like texting her to find out where the paper plates are, and I'm just searching around the house, like searching. But I tell you this, at no point did I ever consider the option of using a regular plate. Because if you know, like I know, if you live in a household with like a black mom or something like that, like if you know you're not supposed to use them plates, you don't use the motherfucking plates. And I don't think she would have had a problem with it. I don't think it would have been an issue. I'd have washed it or whatever, tried to put it away. But old school mom would have known for some reason that I touched one of the plates, and it would have been an issue. So I was like PTSD. I was around that motherfucker searching for damn near an hour trying to find a paper plate. I was this close to just putting it on a napkin and just rocking like that. Like that's where I was. That's how the fear gets instilled in you from a young age, and that shit don't go nowhere ever. But yeah, I found a paper plates and I was able to eat. But like I said, the trip was crazy. It was really crazy. I think later that night, I'm sitting in the house and I'm trying to watch. You know what I'm saying? I played the dolo joint. I told you it had multiple meanings. So I'm doing the show by myself today. But what y'all got to realize is like we have created like a community, like damn near a universe. Like I've found a good group of people, and we all support each other. Like if you like listening to me on this show, I'm telling you, I'm a million other places during the week. I'm on the All on the Table podcast. I'm on the It's a Hard Knock Life podcast. You can find me on the Psychopath podcast. I'm on the Bet the House podcast. Like, I'm all these different places because we all vibe. We all all work together. and it's super dope. Like I was just talking to Raw Says tonight before I started recording this, and I'm like, we like the MCU, and like if you really want to get like all the jokes, if you really want to understand what's being talked about on all these different shows, like you gotta listen to them all. You need to get a little piece of everything, and then some of these things will hit completely different because you'll understand that this is a conversation that started over here and picked up over here and finished over here. But but shout out to them because even when I'm by myself, I'm still repping the whole crew, and you'll definitely get more out of my show if you check them out. So definitely check out all those podcasters that I just mentioned. I'm gonna try to put them in the description somewhere, but I'm recording this like 2 a.m, so it may or may not happen. But I did mention them. Just rewind it, go back. But I'm in the house and I'm trying to watch the What the Shit. What the Shit does a live stream on Wednesdays, and a bunch of us are usually on there. So I couldn't be on it, but I'm trying to watch it. So I'm trying to watch the What the Shit stream. And my mom is next to me, and we're having a conversation. I can multitask. I can do 2 things at once. And I've been waiting for this to happen, where like my mom will get wind of the ratchet shit and the weird ass conversations that I have with other people. Like my mother knows I'm an adult. I'm a 41-year-old man. I got a daughter. I've been to rehab. Obviously, some shit that she isn't aware of, some shit that she wouldn't approve of, happens in my life. But it doesn't happen in front of her. I don't really curse in front of my mother. I never even really drank in front of my mother. Like, there's just a level. Like, that's, again, like a part of growing up black in a black household. Like, there's certain people that just, even though I'm grown as fuck, like, I can't be grown as fuck around them. So my mom has never really experienced or seen that side of me. And I'm trying to watch this thing, and these are the people that I'm cool with and I hang out with. And all of a sudden, like, I'm trying to keep the volume at a certain level, but I guess I ain't do well enough because all of a sudden in the middle of the live stream, they start talking about dick flavored penis. And like, if you could have seen my mom's face when she heard dick flavored penis, and I'm trying to motherfucking adjust the volume real quick, turn it down or whatever. And we didn't have a conversation about it, but she definitely looked at me like, what are you watching? Why are you watching that in front of me? And who are these people? So just so y'all know, DC, Savage, Dramo, all of y'all, just y'all know you're on mom's radar and she does not approve. I know you don't care, but I have to deliver the message. It's my responsibility as her son. But yeah, that was the majority of the trip. There also was the funeral, and only one. I ain't gonna tell too much funeral, but a lot of funny things happened at the funeral. But that's family. And I don't make fun of family, so I'm not gonna do that. But there was this one particular incident that I told my mom the joke. I told my mom that I was gonna talk about it, and so I feel safe doing it. But again, it was my mother's sister that passed, and so when you at a funeral and you the sister or you the close family, as people get there, they make sure to talk to you and hug you and let them know they sorry for your loss and all that good stuff. So, my mom had a parade of people coming by and say hello to, whatever, to catch up. You don't see certain family, but, at these events. This particular family member was not one of those. This is, somebody that my mom sees, fairly regularly or talks to regularly. But she comes over and she hands my mom a card. And she was like, and when she handed it to her, like you have to understand it. When she handed it to her, the look on her face and the way she said, I got this especially for you. And she slid it over to her. And she was like, I was going to bake you a cake, but I thought you'd enjoy this more. And she slid the card over to my mom. My mom got it, put it in her little bag. And I told her, after we left the funeral, I was like, man, I need to know what the fuck is in that card. Like, the way y'all was talking about this card, like, I'm sitting there thinking, is my mom smoking weed? Like, is my mom getting high? Because they was talking about it like it was a transaction or something. Like, I would have baked you a cake, but I thought you'd enjoy this more. This is especially for you. And just the look on her face, it just looked devious and mischievous. And I'm like, are these old ladies getting high. Is this what the fuck is going on? Like, mama, you can't judge me for the friends that I have and conversations that you hear if you over here smoking with my cousin. Like, yeah, you can't do that. Like, that's what is going on. I needed to know what was in the car. It wasn't no weed in the car. I ain't gonna tell y'all what was in the car. It definitely wasn't weed, and I think my mother did appreciate it and appreciate it more than she would a cake. But I thought for sure it was something. It was weed, something. I don't know if they sharing pills and shit like that. I know when my ex-wife used to work for this orthopedic company, and everybody in there, either had ailments, or if they went to the dentist and got some Percocets, or they went over here and got some codeine or whatever, like they be in that joint, like just, it was a whole pill exchange. Like niggas would be like, hey, I'll give you 2 purple ones for 3 green ones or something like that. Like they was definitely in there trading narcotics. That sounds horrible. This sounds way worse than it actually was. But they was narcotics, and they was definitely trading them. Hopefully, don't nobody get. I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble, but it is what happened. But yeah, I ain't know what was in that car. That shit tripped me out. I had to know what the fuck was in that car. But that was basically, my trip home. I made it back home safely. I got to spend time with my nephew. Got to do the episode with my mom. Got to be there for my aunt's funeral and celebrate her life, which I was happy to do. I got to be with my mom on Mother's Day, which I hadn't done for like 10 years since I've been here in Texas. She's been down to Texas on a Father's Day, but I had not been home with my mom on a Mother's Day. So that was definitely dope. I was happy to be able to go back home. The last thing, and this ain't related to family or none of that, this is just a little PSA from your boy J. Flan. This is to charities. Charities, please, please, please stop calling me to ask me if I can donate more. What you getting ready to do is make me donate nothing so that I'm not on your list to call me no more. The only reason you have my number is because I signed up and I gave you credit card information so you could take money out of my account every month to donate towards your charity. And matter of fact, the only reason you got that is because you put some little black kid in front of the Walgreens, and I was like, nigga, if they put you out here, they don't think you're going to get nothing. We're going to run them numbers up. Come on, give me your form. Let me sign the shit. I got you. We're going to do this. But these people have been calling me, and they've been calling me like nonstop, like asking me if I could donate more. And then they be calling me, and they be like, man, have you been following, blah, 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 and have you been following this and, the work we do over here? And I think the chick asked me, like, have you been following what's going on in Syria? And I wanted to say, motherfucker, no. Like, I donate to the charities so that, on the real, I donate so I don't have to care. Like, I'm trying not to, like, I know crazy shit is happening in the world, and a lot of it I can't do nothing about. But I can sleep well at night knowing that, I donate like $25 to whatever the fund is, or to the hungry kids, or something like that. I'm not, when the stories come on the news, I'm not like, oh, let me check out what's going on in Syria. I'm just like, hey, that's why I donate $25 so I can turn to the next channel and watch the basketball games, some shit like that. That's why. But if you keep calling me to ask me if I could donate more, chill, just wait. If I can donate more, I'll let you know. You will never have to reach out to me. If I got extra money to give and I'm trying to get a break on my taxes or something, I'll hit y'all up and I'll up that donation so that I can write all that shit off at the end of the year. If you don't hear from me, then mind your motherfucking business and keep getting your money every month. If you keep calling, I'm cutting all the shit off because I don't want to talk to you no more. And they always start off with like, we're going to make this quick. And they start talking to me about Syria or the kids or something. Like, this is not a quick conversation. And you're not going to have a long conversation about me giving you more money. Anybody, if you want to ask me for money, make that shit quick. Tell me how much, how you need it, what you need it for. And if you can do that, wrap that up in like a minute, you got a shot. A small shot. You got like a snowball's chance in hell, but you got a shot. You go past 2 or 3 minutes, I done tuned out, I ain't hear what you said anyway, and now I'm looking for a way to politely excuse myself from the conversation. I'm just saying. So take that for what you want to take it as, but charities, chill out. If you already get my money, don't fuck it up by asking me for more. I said what I said. It is what it is. But on that note, I done rambled long enough. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me and listening to my like I said, my random stories. The podcast has been doing well. I have a new show that I'm going to start on Opulence. I'm not exactly sure when it's going to air first, but it's going to start airing on Fridays at 8 p.m., I believe. It's called the Kiss the Sky Hour. This is where I get to play like all this copyrighted music that I really can't play on my show that I want to, but I get to share music with y'all. I get to talk about the stories I have associated with certain songs or certain artists, why I like this, why I like that. I break down things. And so it's definitely a good listen. You should check it out. I think it's a good listen, and it's only getting better. So definitely check it out. Music is my love language. I love sharing music with people. And shout out to Opulence for giving me the opportunity to do so. Or I think for giving me the opportunity to do so. It hasn't aired yet, so what I'm saying, they could pull the plug at any second, but here's hoping. I don't know if I've plugged it on this show already, but I am already on Opulence on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. as a part of the All on the Table Happy Hour. It's another music-related show. It is a radio station. It is a radio station at the end of the day. And we review underground music, and we have some hip-hop related conversations. So that's also a dope listen. It's more on my ratchet side, but you can get the totality of Flan. If, like I said, you got to get in the universe. You got to get in the universe, fuck with all the shows, and you'll hear a lot of stuff, and it'll all start to interconnect and make sense. You'll enjoy it even more. I guarantee you it's a good time. Don't take my word for it. What did LeVar Burton used to say on the joint? Like, but don't take my word for it, whatever, on the Reading Rainbow joint. That's all I'm saying. But check it out. Opulence Radio, get the app, go to the website, listen. It's always something dope on there. Everybody's on there, the whole family. So, definitely make sure to check it out. But even if you just listen to this show, I appreciate you. If you made it this far, you are the real MVP. And I'll just say this, I'll let y'all go because I've been rambling for a minute. Until we speak again, y'all be safe, be easy, be the light. And know this, if you know nothing else, I have no idea what the fuck they were talking about with the dick flavored penis. Why would you say such a thing? That doesn't make sense. Like, I have questions, but I don't. I don't even want to know the answers to them. But yeah, that, and I fucking love you. I'm out of here. Holla.
Last call for alcohol. Yeah. If this is it, like if this is the last joint, if this is the last hurrah, it's the last call for alcohol, baby. I gotta say, whether you knew it or not, it's pretty much at the finest bar establishment, the finest spirits and libations y'all could have had, baby. You might realize it now, you might have realized it back then. You might realize it later.
Love.